recording like this. I need a recording like this. Well, hello, and welcome. I've got about 19 pairs of boots that all need to be stitched, whether it's a midsole or a sole. And so I figured I'd go live again and bring you guys along with me. We've got all kinds of boots, honestly. We got work boots, Iron Rangers. We got a pair of whites, I think. Yeah, whites, Dam Post, cowboy boots, a whole bunch of them. So I've got my coffee. This is probably gonna be a long night because we got, not only do we got stitching, we've got some 100 soles we have to recess, stitch. We've got a lot of shaping to do. So I'm gonna see if I can get all 19 done tonight. It's what, 6:30, 7 o'clock? We'll see how long it takes me. But before we get started, I want to say thank you guys for those who are bearing with me in this whole giveaway thing. I've been posting 3 videos a day advertising the giveaway, and I know that can get kind of annoying and repetitious. Yeah, but let me explain something to you. So we got almost 2,000 people entered in the giveaway. I'm sitting at 36,000 subscribers, and I've gained probably about 12 to 1,300 since I started. So by doing that math, only like 700 or 800 people that were originally subscribed have entered, and I've got 36,000 subscribers. So I posted 3 videos a day for the last month and a half, and only 700 of the 36,000 people have entered. It just goes to show how much posting you have to really reach a big audience if if none of them go viral. But I knew this was going to happen, which is why I planned to post as much as I can. And I'm not just trying to get subscribers. I want to build this industry. I'm trying to revive this industry here in the US. And so I'm trying to get as many people as I can to subscribe so that we can together can revive this industry. So we're going to go to the end of this month, and then I'll schedule another live session to pick all the winners. So if you're not yet entered in the giveaway, go do that. If you go to my website, at the banner, it'll say go click or go join the giveaway. Click that, go join the giveaway. We're giving 5 Reed crafts away and a bunch of boots away as well for free, brand new boots. So all that being said, let's get started. First pair, a pair of Iron Rangers. These ones are getting a white top stitch. These ones got, let me not show you that one. The customer has got brown welts, new welts. I'm gonna do a little bit of rough shaping here at the sander, clean up the shape a little bit, and then we'll move on to the stitcher over there. So bear with me while I do this. bit. See if I can move you guys over here to the stitcher so you can see what I'm doing. Let's see. Any comments? I haven't seen any. Okay. Move you guys over. Sorry. I have you guys on a tripod. I got boots on the table too. There's 6 people on. That's not bad. All right. Let's see if I can angle you down a little bit. There we go. All right. So Iron Rangers come with a pretty wide stitch. Now I'm not going to do a super wide stitch. I'd like it a little bit thinner or skinnier. But so when I move this is what adjusts the stitch of the width. Thank you, Donnie Bell 862. I appreciate you. I'm very picky with my work, and that's also why I take forever to get stuff done. But all right, so white stitch on the bottom, that's what the customer wants. The bottom stitch doesn't really matter because we're gonna put Vibram 100 sole on top of it, so it's gonna be covered. These are 270-degree welted, which means the welt starts there and goes all the way to the round, ends there. So we're not going to stitch this back section. Let me double check real quick. Sometimes people like it. All right, yeah. Sometimes people like us to stitch 360, even though it's not welted. They just want a wider rand so they can see the stitch all the way around. If they don't want to pay for an actual 360 conversion, that is a nice way to at least achieve the look. So let's stitch. Let me see. Pair number 1. I'm gonna push this back a little bit more. Get it to go a little bit closer to the boot. All right. Let us do number 1. Stitch number 1 is done. That went fairly well. We can do the second one just as nice. Had to stop it early there because it skipped the stitch. So I'm gonna pull it back a little bit. See if we can fix that. Oh, there's my pliers. Gosh. Thankfully, this is a midsole, and all this will be covered. You won't see it from the top. Something's going on here.
heel pliers?
It's on the table over there. Alrighty. So the reason I have 19 pairs of shoes to stitch is because my sewing machine was stitching shoes like it was drunk. So I'd do a brand new welt and it would stitch just fine on the bottom at least, and I look at the top and it would be like all zigzaggy. So that's why I have so many to stitch. But this one turned out great. I'm very happy. On to pair number 2, which pair number 2, let's see, I think we got a pair of whites here. Okay, put this in here. Yeah, so these whites are interesting. Interesting because they used to be a stitch down Goodyear welt hybrid version kind of thing. And if you have a pair of whites, you know what I'm talking about. They do a stitch down, but they do a second layer of leather kind of as a welt, and they stitch it like a hold fast. And so what we did was we took that secondary welt thing that they stitched the hold fast, we stitched a flat welt to it. And so now, and then we cut the stitch down section off of it. So now we have technically a 270 Goodyear welted whites pair, whites boots. So I gotta do a little bit of shaping on this one as well. Grab my knife real quick. Excited to get my boots sent in soon. Yeah. Well, whenever you want to send them on in, I'm happy to help. Got a 6 to 8 week wait time right now. So busy I am. So the sooner you can get them in, the sooner I'll get them back to you. But these are gonna get double stitched. So we're gonna do some sanding. This is just the midsole. So we'll stitch the midsole first. I'm not gonna be able to do the second stitch for you guys today. These are getting 700 soles. So we'll stitch one row, glue the soles on, and then stitch a second row, and then do the matching heels. But for this time, I'm only gonna be doing the one row. I'll be right back. Hold on. Alrighty. That one took a little bit longer than I expected. This one's also getting a white top stitch. I want to keep it about the same distance as last time. And, this one's going to go as close to the boot as possible. Let's see here. Ooh, definitely a lot closer than that. Alright, that'll be fine. Alright, this is also trying to think. No, the inside. So trying to think. Sometimes they have a stitch all around the heel. Sometimes they don't. I don't think these ones had a double stitch around, or at least a stitch around the heel. So we're just gonna do the 270 like we did the Red Wings. I think it's the Knicks and the JKs that do the 270 like that. wires underneath the boot. I could be wrong, but if there was no point stitching this 360 because it's just the one piece. I'll look at it. I'll look online and see what they looked like before, and if they are stitched around the heel, when I put the sole on, I'll stitch the sole the 360. All right, second boot. Sorry, y'all. Hold on, let me get this fixed. Next one. Not too shabby. And so we'll do the second one. We'll put the, like I said, we'll put the sole on, stitch that second row, and then these will be ready for heels and heel bases. All of this goes like this. All right. We got one more pair of at least the white stitching to do. All right, we got these Dan Post. I think these are Cayman or Gator. I believe it's Cayman. Does not say on the inside. Sometimes they say on the inside, but these are gonna get a double stitch, which is my favorite. Truly, it's not my favorite. It's just a little bit harder to do, because you can if you mess it up, it looks real bad and you have to start all over again. And if you've seen any of my past videos, oh, I don't know what it is about the video or being on the video. Sometimes it just messes up. I don't know. I think the last 4 or 5 videos I've had to start all over the stitching. And yes, white stitch on a black welt is very nerve-wracking, especially on an expensive boot like that. So I'm just gonna trim this a little bit. These welts are super wide. I don't need them that wide. And it'll save me some time on the sander. Save you guys some time from watching me sand. This is a 5-in-1 machine, by the way. So this thing presses the welt and the sole together. Yeah, see this little disc right there? You roll it. This part right here, if you put a piece of leather, something like this, through it, see, it's a skiving machine. So it makes little, skives it down, thins it down, and puts out these little pieces here. And then this is the blade that you could use to trim soles, cut sheets out. Like if you're doing a sole from a sheet, you do use this. It's a lot easier. Oh, dang. I think I done messed up, y'all. That's what I was afraid of. That. Oh, that's really unfortunate. I trimmed it too short. That's the issue. Sometimes you run into like this. I can't do a double stitch on that one anymore. Man. Oh, okay, well, I guess these are getting added to the pile of welts that need to get done. Anyway, moving on. All right. Let's not let that get you down. move on to the next one. These are another pair of Iron Rangers. They got new welts as well. This is gonna get a green top stitch. It's gonna be interesting. So let's trim this out. Be more careful this time. I'm gonna take this tag off so it's out of my way. Alrighty. Gonna do a little bit of sanding here. Okay. Now we gotta change red from white. green. Reposition you guys to see what we're doing. All right. So down here, so that's the bobbin thread. This one right here is the bottom thread. Bobbin bottom. So we're gonna cut that. Take our green. There's a little bolt and there's a little hole or screw that I screw it into, and it holds it into place for me. And I tie a double knot onto the thing because I don't like threading this machine. That's a pain in the butt. So tie a knot. You loosen the tension a little bit. And out comes the green. Just gotta thread to that last little piece there, and we're good to go. Okay, so again, there's another pair of Iron Rangers. We've got here, we're going to be doing just a 270-degree stitch. I got, I'm gonna keep it there. We're gonna adjust the depth because these welts aren't as wide as those whites are. All right, cool beans. Pair number what? We did 1, 2, 3. Pair number 3. All right, this machine, man, I'm telling you. I replaced the part that was broken in it. Not broken, but wore out. And stopped like 3 or 4 stitches away from where I wanted it to stop. So, all right, let's see if we can just stitch this last little section here. So I line up where I stopped and where I started, and then I do the stitch. And then before I put the sole on, I pull all of these threads and I glue them down so it's nice and secure and it's not gonna start coming undone from the bottom piece. Literally just that last little 3 or 4 stitches that needed to be done. Pull this through. Take a look at how these green stitches look though. I'll show you here in a second. Doesn't that look cool? Yeah, it looks real nice. Hopefully this one doesn't goof up. I've like oiled and cleaned this machine. I had this whole front section taken apart because I had to replace a needle guide. So I mean, this should be running just fine. Maybe just gotta make a couple more adjustments. Come Come on. Alrighty. So that was pulling the green thread up, but it wasn't looping it around. Let's see what happens here. Sometimes I just need to help it with the first one. And then do the second one. Very nice. Cool beans. All right. This is, yep, this one. Let me get all this stuff for it real quick. That way we can put that off to the side. These are now ready for the 100 soles and heels to get put on. What do we got next? All right, so we got, hold on, is there a way that we can, see, I'm new to all this. No, I want to keep that open. Interesting. I want to see if I could read all the comments, but I don't know if there are any. If I just can't see them. I don't know, guys. I'm sorry if I don't see you guys' comments. They disappear on my screen after like 5 seconds. All right, we've got a pair of, let's see, what are these? 8146s. These got new welts again. It's actually got, yeah, new welts. These got new footbeds. New piece on the inside. These are gonna get honey lugs. That'll be real cool. This is actually for a customer. So if you don't know, I'm in right outside Nashville, Tennessee. So I think this customer drove Georgia, one of the surrounding states. He drove in. I can't remember. It was a while ago. He drove in to come see me and drop off like 3 or 4 pairs of shoes, which is really cool. All right, now I'm gonna do this to try to trim it because it's got super wide welts. Now hopefully I don't goof this. I didn't do that last one on purpose. I promise you guys. I'm not afraid of double stitches, but that one was a real goofy moment. See, I ran out of the skinnier welts. So I had to, all I had was this wide welt left. All right, that was good. That's good. Okay, we did good on that one. We didn't screw that one up. See if I can do the same thing to this one. Cool. All right. I don't know if you probably weren't even able to see that. I'm sorry. But we got it. Didn't mess it up. So let's go ahead and do our shaping of this one. What color stitch is this one getting? It's getting a rust top stitch. So we'll have to change up to thread again. wondering why I'm putting the heel up to it, these boots came with a wedge sole, and that means it's a 360-degree welt, so the welt goes all the way around the heel. So these tend to have naturally wider heels, which is, I mean, good for support. But I have my biggest honey lug heel here, and I just need to make sure that's gonna fit before I go and stitch it, because if I leave it too wide and I stitch right along the edge, then these aren't gonna work, and I have to re-welt and restart it all over again. So that's what I was checking. All right, now rust stitching is what we're doing. I'm getting my, oh, you know what? Man, I am just not prepared today. That is unfortunate. I just realized I just used the last of my rust stitching the other day to fill this bobbin for another job. Man, it's a rough night, huh? All right, well, guess that's another pair that's got to go to the side to wait until we get some rust stitching in. Damn. Problem is, I'm not doing this on purpose. Okay. Get these laces. I'm gonna go set these right next to the damn post. I screwed up on. All right. Still got a lot more to go. What time is it? Hold on. All right, 7:45. I think we've been live for about 48 minutes. It's about 45 minutes, all right. Move on to, let's do an easy one. All right, check these guys out. These are Thorogood mock toe pull-ons. Very interesting. You only really see mock toes on the lace-ups, but Thorogood thought to put it on a pull-on. What do you guys think about this? I find it interesting. It's okay. Some people like it, some people don't like it. I don't think I would wear this. Not because it doesn't look good, but because I'd rather... I'm not really a pull-on boot kind of guy. Unless they're cowboy boots, which in that case, then yeah, but these are more like a work pull-on boot. But Thorogood does make some good work boot, like pull-on style work boots. So if you're in the market for some pull-on work boots, check out Thorogood, check out Red Wing. They make some good styles. Just look for Goodyear welted boots. Cream top stitch. All right. Look for Goodyear welted boots. That way you can get them easily resold. Now, if you're going with the Thorogoods, just know they come with plastic welts. And when you get them resold, if you get them resold with me, I won't resole Thorogoods without replacing the plastic welts with leather. There are some other shops that can replace or can resole them with the plastic welts. I just prefer not to. Plastic welts are a pain in the butt to glue to and stitch on. And the welt is the foundation of the boot. And if it's plastic, as you know, plastic cracks and falls apart. So if I go put my new sole on that weak plastic welt, then in a few months of you wearing it, maybe you might get a year out of it, that welt's gonna crack, and then my soles are gonna fall off, and then you're gonna come to me like, why your sole's falling off? And yeah, no good. So that's why, if anything's got a plastic welt, automatic, I replace it with leather. It's the only way I'll do the job. Because long term, I want your guys' boots to last as long as possible. And then once those soles wear down, you bring them back to me. I'll resole them and we'll reuse the leather welts. And you won't have to spend so much. Okay, this is what we're doing. These boots here. Let me check my bobbin. Make sure I have enough. Oh yeah, good enough. All right, this guy just wants a cream top stitch. Did natural storm welted on these guys. We're gonna do a cream top stitch. We're gonna keep the same stitch width. Pray to God it works out. Whew. Looking good. One more. Hold on. Alright. I think I got enough thread for one more shoe. Looking good. All right, I got lucky with that pair. Whew. What soles are these getting? Oh, this is getting a double sole recraft. So it's getting a tan or cream Vibram 4014, that sole, and then a tan Elvis wedge sole. So we're gonna do that sole. We're gonna glue it on. We're gonna sand the tread off, and we'll put that on top of it. So that'll be pretty cool. Look at these guys here, almost like this. These are Red Wing 877s doing the double sole with the I forgot what color this is. And it's like a tan or a brown camo or coyote Sierra sole, but same idea with these guys. So I'm gonna put this off to the side. We've got pair number 4 done. All right. Shall we do another pair of Iron Rangers? Yes. Got tons of these things here, which is a good thing. I'm very, very blessed with lots of boots. Very happy. So these also got new footbeds. That piece on the inside. The new welts. Yeah. My wife, she's working on some Birkenstocks right now. By the way, if you need Birkenstocks fixed, she's the woman to go to. She's also makes custom ones. She'll custom draw whatever you want on the Birkenstock strap. She's done some wild things, so go check her out. What?
I said wild PR drop.
PR, what does that mean?
It's like when you promote someone.
It's a shout out.
It's a marketing.
Oh,
It's a
PR, I know
marketing.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're my wife. I like to do that.
I appreciate it.
Anyway, she's gonna be creating her own social media pages here just for Birkenstock selling, like we did the cowboy boots. There'll be a YouTube channel just for Birkenstocks. So if you like that type of stuff, stay tuned. It'll be coming out here soon. But on to these guys. So they got new footbeds, new welts, and using these Vibram. I forgot what soles these are called, but it's like a gum light, lightweight lug sole. So it's gonna be pretty cool. These are gonna get also cream stitching, but we gotta trim the welts on this one. Let me see here. I'm gonna try to see if I get you a better angle so you're not looking at my back. this way, maybe. Okay.
May I use the sander, please?
Yeah. Okay, great. Pair one. Pair number two. Cool beans. All right. Let's get you switched over here. Gonna be doing some shaping. Thank you guys for bearing in with me. I know most of this is just me sanding and trimming. I appreciate you hanging out. It's also getting a cream top stitch. Yes, cream top stitch. All right. Let me check the bobbin. Nope. I'm gonna have to refill that or get another one, because that was not gonna stitch the entire shoe. Let's see what we got over here. All right, we got some black. This one's not really gonna matter because you won't see the stitching.
Behind you.
Alrighty, we are ready for the black bottom stitch. Let's see, are we doing? Not doing. There's gonna be 270 stitch as well. Let me double check the. Alrighty. Let me pull it up a little bit. Very nice. All right. Here we go. Not too shabby. A cream stitch on a natural welt doesn't really pop, and that's kind of the whole point of it. If you don't want it to pop, then do a cream stitch on a natural welt. It's more for casual boots. I guess not casual, but like formal style boots where you don't want it so pop. Like you don't want the colors to pop, or your boots to pop. That's what I was trying to say. Like a black dress shoe with black stitching, it's going to be more formal. It's not going to have any bright colors. So a cream stitch on a natural welt is going to do the same thing. Alrighty. And when we condition it, it'll not darken it, but it'll bring out the natural color of the leather. Because this is kind of an unfinished natural. So when we put leather conditioner on there, it'll bring that finished leather look back to it. All right. That is pair 1, 2, 3, 4. Pair number 5 done. Pair number 5.
Don't you have like 20?
I've got 19, but 2 of them I can't do. 1 because I messed up the welts, and 2 because I don't have the right color thread.
Sounds fun.
And it's very fun. All right. What are these? This is the next pair we got. This is a pair of... I don't know. Doesn't say the name.
May I stand behind you?
Sure. Are you gonna use the big blue one?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Would you like me to wait?
If you don't mind, I gotta shape these so I could stitch them.
I don't mind at all.
All right. These are getting interesting soles. So these are the Vibram 700 soles. Same thing that those whites were getting, but we glued them on upside down to do a smooth 700 sole. So it's supposed to mimic a leather sole, but it's gonna be a lot more durable because it's rubber. I think the original Iron Rangers came out with a smooth cork 700. So we're gonna just do this is already almost pre-shaped. This one's not. So we're gonna clean this one up and we're gonna make this one look like that one. Hold on, this one's like super wide. I ain't trying to sand through all of that. Alright, that should be good enough. righty. Some of this coffee here. Let's see. He wants, okay, cream's top stitch. We're gonna keep it black on the bottom. He didn't specify what color he wanted, so I'm gonna keep it black. I think black would look good on the brim. I now have to go carve a channel so the stitching can get counter stuck.
You can stop it.
This.
Be careful. It's almost, that's how my phone broke last night. Please be careful.
I'm gonna not widen, but like smallen. I don't know. We're gonna make the stitches a little bit closer. Is what we're gonna do. That's what I was looking for. All right. Not too bad. Black on the bottom looks good. Hopefully it works out on this one. turned out great. Awesome. That is pair number, what, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is pair number 6. All done. All right, this one is next. All right, this one's gonna take a little fan dangling before we could get it stitched. So this is getting our Commander Recraft, which is a Vibram 100 sole with a recessed edge, so that we're able to stitch the soles on. Yep. So we got Vibram 100s. These are Red Wing 5340, I think is what it says on the inside. 3340. 3340s. So we're gonna trim the edges. This is a really dense rubber to try to cut and sand. That's why I use razor blades. I cut through like butter. But you gotta be careful, because they will cut too much if you're not careful. Ooh. Are these getting... All right. So let's get this other one all done. All right, I'm gonna rough sand this to shape. So I'm gonna trim this back section quick. We did new heel reins. These are a 270-degree welt, so we need a rand in the back. So they're just extra wide. So this isn't going to get stitched 360. More 270. All right. Cool. Now we got to recess the edges. So we're basically going to cut about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch of the lug away from all the way around the boot. And that will give us our commando sole. Allow us to stitch the soles onto the shoe. And it won't be so chunky from the side. So you won't really see the lugs from the side as you're walking. All right. I'm gonna find out how sharp this knife is. So I come in from the top, go only as deep as the lug, and then come in from the side, and then cut the little pieces off. And then they fall. So it's hand cut, and then I'll go ahead and after this, I'll take it to my smooth sander, and I will sand it all smooth. Now, you got to be careful if you're trying this yourself, because if you cut too far into the lugs, then obviously that's no good. What I mean is from the side, if you're cutting all the way into the lugs like that, then you're just gonna have these lugs here flopping off, which you don't want. All right, there's that piece. Okay. It is hot. It is hot in here, y'all. There's a fan right behind you, just turned on. I'm like sweating in here. I keep the shop at 69 and it's still hot. And it was snowing today too. No, I ate earlier, thank you. Alrighty, it's literally just this, guys. Just cutting it one lug at a time. Coming in. Bam. I first did this on my logging boots, logger boots. Well, Thursday logger boots. They're not really logging, they're more like a casual rugged boot. But I did a half sole version. So instead of this is a full sole version, I cut it and made it into a half sole. And I got that idea from, if you guys don't know who Wyatt and Dad Cobbler Company is, they're another great YouTube channel to go check out. They're based out of North Carolina, I believe. They do something called their Urban Logger Recraft, which is basically this as a full sole, but this as a full lug, but half soled. Half soled. And so I saw another shop, Beato's Leatherworks, which is out of Virginia, do a commando sole out of a mini lug half sole. And so I wanted to combine the two to make a commando half 100 sole, I guess you can call it. And I wore it for a while. It's pretty comfortable. They're lightweight because it's a half sole. You're losing all of these little luggy pieces, so it's a little bit lighter. There you go. That's the whole idea. Now you still have a wide enough base to walk on, so you're not going to be rolling your ankles or tripping as you're walking. We'll do the other one real quick. Well, not real quick, but as fast and as effective as I can get it without sacrificing quality. Let me change this out. Usually I like to do this, or when I do this, I do brand new blades. So just like slices through the rubber like a laser. It saves me a bunch of time. Okay. But you gotta be extra careful with this one because you will cut through the sole. Real easily. Go. See how much easier and faster that is? Very nice. Also, how much cleaner the stitching is. Can you guys see? I can't even see the camera. I'm sorry. Let's see here. There we go. Whew. Sorry about that fan, guys. It feels a lot better though. I'm not sweating over here. last little bit and I get to sand it, and we shall stitch it after that. Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna be at our finishing sander, which is this guy. I'm just gonna smooth out all the edges and everything. Alrighty, what color stitching are we going to be doing today? Commander, cream top stitch, and a cream bottom stitch. So, do we have any? So we're going to be doing the same stitch on the bottom. We'll take this black out. I think I have enough thread in here to do one. So I'll have to refill the bottom the next time I stitch, hopefully. Where is my water bottle? All right. So this sole is kind of tricky to stitch because if the machine gets stuck on one of these lugs, then it's gonna jack it all up. So I spray it down with water. So that it kind of acts as a lubricator for the machine. Also soften up this leather for the needle and the awl to go through easy. All right, let's hope this works out. See that? Of course it's got a stitch, skip a stitch. Tis not my night, you guys. Alrighty. Hold on. I almost went to stitch again. Thankfully I didn't. That's all the thread that was left in there. So now you can see how we fill the bobbin. Alright, so this piece right here, that goes onto that. Okay. Alright, so my glass cream bobbin is in here, is underneath the machine. So, I'm going to pull this, like this. So this lever makes it pull, or makes this spin. Spin it up. And then pull some more out. Usually I have the bobbin on the floor. That'll be enough for the one shoe. Alright, let's hope this doesn't skip a stitch like the last one did. No skipped stitches on that one. I'll have to fix this one. But we'll do that at a later date. Not tonight. Not tonight. Okay. I'm gonna put this off to the side. I'll fix that later. All right. Now we got some boots over here. Let me go grab some. Alright, so this one, get a black top stitch and a blue bottom stitch. She's got full leather soles. We were able to reuse the welts on these guys. So let me, we gotta groove it, switch out the thread, And then I gotta do some light sanding on the edges here. Now we gotta come over here. We're gonna line up our needle before we can stitch it. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell how close that stitching is, so we're gonna have to push this thing pretty much almost all the way back. So let me go groove it. Set up the groover. I'm adjusting the guide right now. It adjusts how deep the stitching or the grooving goes, like how far in from the side. So I mark it with the needle, poke a hole through it, and then I use that hole as a guide to set up the channel for the rest of the welt. actually have some blue thread in a bobbin ready to go. Right. Got blue. So we'll take this cream out. Put this blue in. Okay. And then and I've changed the cream. Let's see. Out for black. Let's see, how long have we been live? Almost 2 hours. 2 hours, and I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 6 pairs done? I don't think I'll be able to finish it all tonight, y'all. So do this at another date. Another time. Let's see, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more pairs, 9 more pairs of shoes to do. It took me 2 hours to do 6. I'll be here another 2.5 hours doing another 9. I gotta be up early tomorrow. I don't want to go on little sleep. All right. Let's get this one, and then let's get all the blacks done. So we're gonna do this one, and then the next one will be these guys here, and then depending on how tomorrow goes, I might be able to go live again after work, after we close the shop, and do the other ones, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. All right. I like putting the soles with the leather. It makes it softer, easier for the machine to go through. Alrighty, let's go. Very nice. I know you guys can't really see it, but blue stitching on the bottom, black stitch on the top. All right, one more. Oh, would you look at that? that was the end of the bobbin. We got real lucky there. Ooh, I ran out of bobbin thread right at the last stitch. Thank the Lord. Stitching came out nice too. Yeah. Yep. All right, so we got one more pair to do, and I'm gonna call it a night after that. These are, what are these actually? Chippewa boots. These came in, it's actually plastic heel bases. Wanted to change it to a leather heel base and no cowboy heel. Interesting. Alrighty. Black top stitch, black bottom stitch. Simple enough. He's got Vibram 430 soles. I'm going to do, again, just a rough shaping. We're gonna groove the soles and then stitch it together. But I'm gonna show you guys something that I haven't really shown at all in my other videos with the stitcher. We're gonna lift that up and show you guys what's underneath. Let me finish this up real quick. I'll show you guys that after. Now the stitching on these are pretty wide, so we're gonna move that out to as wide as it'll go. Let me adjust this. Let's see. Okay. My pen dropped on the floor. Alrighty, we're gonna groove this. Set it in a little bit. Alrighty. The moment you guys all been waiting for. Is this gonna be in your way? If I open this up? Alright. Under the hood, these little cylinders. I guess they're cylinders. Don't ask me how all of this works. I'm still learning how all of this works. I am just amazed that someone thought of this inside their head and made it work. But there's a motor underneath where the threads go, where I change out the color. And then that drives the belt behind here, which drives this, which turns all of this. And there's a whole bunch of gears and pulleys and stuff on the inside, which operates all of that. That's the simplest way I could put it. Because again, I don't even know how all this works. I'm just glad it works. And they don't make machines like this anymore, unfortunately. It's hard to find parts to replace them. They're like broken parts. Not broken, okay. It's hard to find replacement parts for these machines. Hard to find them in the first place, but all these are oil points to kind of make sure it's oiled daily. You blow it out with the air compressor because a whole bunch of dust gathers up in there. So we're gonna run it with the hood open so you can see all of that moving. Let me see if I can get you a better view of this. Okay, I'm gonna move that down. All right, let's see here. Let's hope this works. Okay. Alrighty, that one went out just fine. Last stitch of the night. pretty cool to see all that moving around when I'm stitching it. God bless you, baby. Alrighty. Alright. That one turned out beautiful too. It's hard to see the black stitching, but that is the last one for tonight. I gotta go eat dinner and go to bed so I could be up early in the morning. But thank you guys for watching. Stick along with me. If you're not yet subscribed, please do so. If you haven't entered the giveaway, I've been posting 3 videos per day for the last month and a half, telling people about the giveaway. Go do so. Yes, thank you. Yes, you should enter. It's completely free. There is a raffle. If you want to buy a raffle ticket, you can do that as well. It's only 25 bucks. Raffling off 10 more recrafts, so you have a higher chance of winning that than the free giveaway. Because we got about 2,000 people in the free giveaway with over 300,000 entries. Because you can earn more entries by doing certain things. So there's 300,000 entries, 2,000 people entered in the free giveaway, and there's separate recrafts, so you can go do that. Old Soul Shoe Repair and Leatherworking.com. Click the banner, it'll say go join our giveaway and enter your information. There's a video you could watch. So thank you guys. Have a good night.